Hello, mis amores. How are we doing? Nice. Oh, why aren't you asking me? Is it just me who's asking those questions? Wow. I'm not doing that great today, in case you care. It's just because when working out this morning, I must have done something wrong because my neck or my shoulder, like in between there, really hurts. So if I've got the stiff neck syndrome, that's why. But I'm really excited to try these recipes, so I didn't want to wait another day. As we all know, Pinterest is like the website for aesthetics and like beautiful things, or at least that's the reason I go there, for inspiration, creativity, beautiful things. So imagine how surprised that was to find a recipe that wasn't really giving Pinterest aesthetic like at all. And so that got me intrigued and wondering, what other ugly recipes are there on Pinterest? Can Pinterest do ugly things? That's not to say that these recipes are gonna be disgusting. I mean, we're gonna try that. They just didn't really look very appealing. Even though in some of the photos they did try to make them look good, they just didn't. Yeah, we're here to try these recipes because
it's time to debunk Pinterest. It can't all be pretty, right?
There's beauty in the ugly. Good, the bad, the ugly. Oh, that's an unreleased song. Oops. I have never listened to this song at all. I don't know what this song is. Never has this been downloaded. No. That said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with the ugly, which will hopefully be good and not bad. We're gonna start with something tame. I feel like it's definitely gonna be great. It just really doesn't look like it. We're not up to a great start because historically, my bakes never look as great as the ones on Pinterest. No matter how hard I try, but honestly, it's harder to try on camera. I feel like if I did it off camera, I would do a better job. There's no way that this is gonna come out looking pretty. We're gonna make baked apple fritters, which sounds amazing, very fall-y, which is nice because it's fall. Yeah, I know I'm gonna like it. It's gonna be great, but it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna get ugly. Another song. Woo! Oh. It's a very interesting way of baking it. You bake it, then you take it out, and then you pour glaze on top, and then you broil it actually. So that's weird.
That's suspicious.
Here's what you need. 120 grams of all-purpose flour, then we've got 120 grams of whole wheat flour, half a cup of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, a quarter of a teaspoon of allspice, a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Why are you measuring butter in tablespoons? It's just...
I will never understand.
85 grams of butter cut into cubes, and a cup of chopped apples. You can preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. First, let's whisk together our dry ingredients and the sugar. Oh, I didn't even tell you about the wet ingredients yet. Well, it's just 120 milliliters of milk, and then I've also got a teaspoon of vanilla in there already, and we're gonna add 1 egg. Whisk wasn't the best choice. I should have known that this was gonna be thick. Are you serious right now? It is very thick, which I think is correct. Lastly, we just gently stir in the chopped apples. Maybe my apple pieces are a little too big, I don't know. Just once I wanted to be silent when I film. Just once. Anyway, enough complaining. I'm done now, honestly. I'm good. I'm good.
Why aren't you pretty?
JK. So apparently you take a quarter of a cup of this. I feel like I should have greased the cup beforehand because now it's not coming out. That is so big. Like, can I make them smaller? We bake them for 11 to 13 minutes only until the center is set and the bottom is golden brown. And then prepare a wire rack because we're gonna swipe them onto that wire rack and broil them. Guys, I forgot the butter! Why didn't you say something? Ah! Okay, luckily I still have all of the ingredients, so I'm just gonna do it all again. Maybe that's why it was so sticky. As it turns out, we add the butter pieces to our flour mixture until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs. Now we add the milk and then the rest is just the same. Okay, we go again. The other ones don't look too bad. They're very fluffy, I guess. Not bad. Pretty good. Maybe you don't need the added fat. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Well, safe to say they definitely have spread more than the other ones. It's also shitty because now they're even uglier. I'm gonna go for 12 minutes. What the fuck was that? This situation definitely calls for a coffee. Are you coming out? I'm just gonna keep eating these ones. They're good. They're kind of bread-like now. They're good if you dip them into your coffee. They'll go really well. Anyway, let's make the icing. You just need 110 grams of confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar. Then you add a teaspoon of vanilla. And then you mix in 2 tablespoons of milk. Now it says to brush a thin layer of the glaze over the fritters and then we broil them. Mine look very different. Mine look like normal cookies. Mine actually don't look bad. Is that too thick a layer? I don't know. The photos look like very crumbly. I'm confused, you guys. Well, I'm gonna have apple cookies, I guess. Broil for 2 to 4 minutes until the top is golden. What is happening? I don't like this. It smells burned after not even 1 minute. Okay, that was way too hot. Holy fuck, that wasn't even a minute. Maybe don't put it on the topmost shelf. To be fair, they look like caramelized. The hot ones we're just also gonna glaze with more of the glaze. I think we saved them. I don't think they're burned, right? In the photos they're even darker. Now they look like Lebkuchen. What's it called? Gingerbread, kind of. German gingerbread. Allow glaze to harden and then serve. So we're just gonna put this aside and get back to it in a little while. It's finally time to try fritters. Finally, I mean for you it was just a cut. I still don't really understand how they look so different. They look like normal cookies, but they're pretty soft. Ooh. Yum, 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 yum. Very good, nice and fluffy, very Christmassy, sweet. But I think, okay sweetness. I think there could be more apples, or at least I didn't get one with a lot of apples. Ugly, but really good. Don't look Pinterest, but taste Pinterest. Let's hope we can continue this greatness. Let's move on to something savory. I feel like savory things always have a higher chance of looking not very pretty, especially if they involve eggs. And that's what we're gonna make. I saw these photos and they were actually the reason I wanted to make this video, because I saw them and I was like, I think maybe to some of you they will look nice, but I just think they look very unappealing, although I love what they are, even though I haven't tried this kind of what they are. Okay, so we're gonna make deviled eggs, which I've done before following Oprah Winfrey's recipe. I still remember them because I loved them so much, and that was actually the first time that I ever had deviled eggs. But this time we're actually gonna make an air fried version of them. Yeah, I don't really know what to expect, but I'm intrigued and I want to try them. I'm intrigued by so many things apparently. That must be one of the most said words in my videos. And here's what you need. 6 hard-boiled eggs. As you can see, these are 5 because Naomi stole one. 5 are still plenty. I'm about to get rid of the shell and then cut them in half and put the egg yolks into a bowl with 2 tablespoons of mayo, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of chopped pickles, and some salt and pepper to taste. Then we're gonna munch that together. And the rest that you need is half a cup of breadcrumbs, half a cup of flour, half a cup of butter crackers blended into crumbs, 2 raw eggs beaten, and just some melted butter for brushing. Now let me take care of the eggs. Egg yolk. I do like eggs now, but I still to this day think that hard-boiled eggs are like the worst way to eat eggs. I think we might have to mash this with a fork. If it weren't for the pickle, then this would be a puree already. I think it's fine. Here we go. Whoa. Into one dish, add the eggs. Into another dish, the flour. Finally, into a third dish, the breadcrumbs and the crackers. We take 1/2 of the egg white, coat it with flour, egg, and then the breadcrumbs. And then we can already place them into the air fryer. Gently spray with cooking oil or brush with some malted butter. I mean, really, I'm just like dropping it on top. No. 200 degrees Celsius for 4 to 5 minutes. On each side. Did that really have to happen? So my eggs have been in the air fryer like almost double the amount of time, and they're only just now getting to the color of the photo. Should I keep going? They seem crunchy. Okay, a little while longer. Okay, they look a bit better now. Now we just gotta take them out and fill them with our mixture, like so. Maybe a little bit more. Also, I tried the mixture. I added more mustard because it wasn't mustardy enough. And that's why I'm eating deviled eggs, right? Like for the mustard. And there you have it, our air fried deviled eggs. That indeed look like shit. But that's what we're here for, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm pretty excited about these because they seem crunchy, which obviously is why we put them into the air fryer. I feel like the textures are gonna be really nice with this. Not as crunchy as I hoped. I mean, kind of a little bit crunchy, but the thing is the egg white now is kind of rubbery, so the entire thing kind of reminds me of calamari a little. I used to like calamari, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm looking for in deviled eggs. I'm not a fan of the texture. The egg white is not it. This needs even more mustard. Maybe I should have amped up the temperature instead of leaving them in there longer so that this gets crunchier quicker. The idea is fun, it just doesn't really work. Hope our last recipe works because that one I'm very skeptical about and intrigued by. This one, not only is it not the prettiest, but also, I mean, they're called mayonnaise cookies, so exactly. I don't even have a lot of words because I'm just genuinely confused. It sounds crazy, but they're really tasty, even for people who don't like mayo. I'm just weirded out by this. And also, like, who came up with this? You need 1 cup of mayo for this recipe. I'm only gonna make half of this because I really don't trust this. Maybe the mayo replaces the fat of like butter or oil, and also the egg potentially. Mayo is a little bit sweet, but it is also acidy, no? But the good thing is, you like barely need anything for this recipe except for a lot of mayonnaise. So again, you need 1 cup of mayo, 1 cup of white sugar, and then 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of vanilla, and just a little bit of salt. So these are only like 6 ingredients. Prep time should take you 5 minutes. We are open-minded and curious and intrigued, right? Okay, preheat the oven to 176 Celsius. We're just gonna mix together the sugar, flour, baking soda, and the salt. This is ridiculous. We're like almost done. Add some vanilla and then just the mayo. Let's just pretend it's cream or sweetened condensed milk. I don't know. So how do we come up with a recipe like this one? I have questions for you. Number 1. Oh, you also need a little bit of extra sugar to then sprinkle them once they're on the baking sheet. Let me try it. It tastes very interesting. Like, if I didn't know there was mayo in there, then I wouldn't taste the mayo. But I do know, so I kind of taste it. Shape into small balls. Again, that was easy. Now we just take a fork and press them down a little. Now they look like marzipan. Love marzipan. And lastly, we just sprinkle them with some sugar. Well, let's bake them for approximately 12 minutes. Hi! Our cookies have cooled down. I mean, they look like normal sugar cookies. They're a little bit dark. They haven't even been in there for 10 minutes. Yeah, the recipe also said that they were going to be very greasy, but did not expect them to be that greasy. Apparently you can add any flavor to them if you want, lemon or so. But let's first try them. Oh, interesting texture. Oh, kind of chewy. Interesting. When you know that there's mayo in there, you kind of get mayo flavor, but I don't know if that's placebo. Yeah, they taste good. They're not giving me life. Maybe I would put some chocolate on top. Honestly, I don't know why you would make this. Except if you're into this like tangy feeling and also taste. Yeah, I don't know. These are kind of unnecessary. I haven't used that word in forever, so maybe it was just time. I don't know. Maybe one of you can explain how this has come about and if there are any benefits to this. We have gone from great to maybe not so great. But definitely these are the prettiest things we've done today. They just exist. It's not like they're pretty or ugly. I got to go because I'm really hot in this sweater. And also, I feel like my neck is doing better, but I need some heat. Pinterest was interesting. Not just a pretty face, because sometimes it can be ugly, is what we've learned. I'm out. Thank you so much for watching this video. And bye!